Hello, everyone. I'm Joseph Giarraputo, the President and Editorial Director of Global Finance, coming to you from New York. I'm joined by Shan Tan in Singapore. Shan is Group Head Institutional Banking at DBS. Global Finance's September issue included our first Sustainable Finance Awards. DBS won 8 of these awards, including being named for Outstanding Global Leadership in Green Bonds and Best Sustainable Finance Bank in Asia. Shan, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Shan, DBS is one of the world's leading sustainable finance banks. What's your strategy for sustainable finance and sustainability best practices, and how has it influenced DBS's operations, business practices, and offerings?
Well, I think the first, Joseph, is to really embed sustainability into our culture, into everything we do, and then creating a toolkit for our bankers to engage their clients, to really understand what the customer needs are, how they can transit, how we can help them to transit, how we can create financial solutions around that transition path, and then leading them from brown to green. And really recognizing that along the way, there are a lot of challenges that we have to go through together, from issues around data, issues around challenges of getting the data, verifying the data, and frankly, finding the right solutions. Asia is not homogeneous. We've got a mix of developed markets and emerging markets and differing needs. And so being able to understand that each of the markets we're in, that we operate in, are at different stages of that transition. And coming up, we were the first bank to come up with this transition framework, to then come up with the transition framework and to help walk our clients hand in hand through this transition is what we've always aspired to do.
In the past year, what have been DBS's most significant achievements in sustainable finance?
Well, I like to say that we've helped a whole slew of companies, but where I'm really proud is the work that we've done around the renewable energy space. We've done some of the biggest projects in Taiwan, floating solar, wind farms. We've done some of the biggest projects, first big projects of floating solar panels in Singapore. We've helped government-linked companies, SOEs in many countries, Hong Kong, China, Singapore, also issue sustainability-linked bonds, green bonds, and also being the go-to bank, as I said, to come up with the financing solutions and the products to help with the transition. So I'm proud that the team has become the go-to team, whether it's advising on such structures, putting structures together, finding financing, coming up with innovative financing solutions. And these could be anything from a sustainable bond, a green loan, or green bond, with step-up, step-down structures, options, and also linking investors and suppliers of such financing projects together. I think it's been exciting. It's been a learning journey for everyone. But what's been heartening is the fact that as we do more and more of these projects, the word sustainability becomes more and more embedded and more mainstream. In the last 3 years, when we first started this journey, it was new, it was fresh, people didn't know about it, but now it's just become mainstream. It's part of the everyday conversation we have with our clients, and it's embedded in all our financing solutions.
DBS leads in the development of Asia's SRI and ESG capital markets. How are you innovating to help issuers raise capital with a positive impact on the environment and social programs?
Well, Joseph, we're doing a myriad of different things, from the really big, impactful stuff like setting up a carbon exchange. So we announced a joint venture with the SGX, Temasek, and Standard Chartered on the Carbon Impact Act, which is a Asia-based, Asia time zone carbon exchange. I think it's a great platform in which we can create a exchange for supply and demand of carbon credits, which we see increasing demand, especially for the big Asian players, to helping social enterprise. So from big to small, at the social enterprise level, we were the first bank to issue women's livelihood bonds, helping women in emerging markets with microloans, and getting our high net worth clients working with NGOs who can come in with a financial guarantee of some sorts, helping to distribute that bonds to our customers, creating sustainable livelihoods for women in emerging countries. To supporting a lot of social enterprises who are in the renewable space, in the sustainability space, and need startup loans, etc. So I'm quite proud. I mean, we're doing a lot of stuff from really big to really small, local startup levels. So really at all levels. But also, we were the first bank to create this taxonomy for transition. And as I said earlier on, Asia is transiting and different countries are transiting at different rates. And so creating that transition framework, the taxonomy for transition, and being able to handhold our clients and recognizing that you don't go from brown to green overnight, but you have to slowly transit your way. And giving them the financing support along the way and tying up with other investors, I think is a journey that we have started and will continue to drive as Asia becomes more sustainable in its business practices.
I mean, after all these achievements in the last few years, what are your major sustainability initiatives going into 2022?
So into 2022, our ambition is to get into our Scope 3 emissions, is to really be able to quantify everything that our clients emit in terms of our Scope 3 emissions. It's also to refine the playbook that we have for individual industries to come up with that best practice for every industry, whether you're in shipping, aviation, travel, real estate, energy, doesn't matter. Whatever industry you're in, we want to be able to be the go-to bank that can help you with that journey from whether you're already green to become darker green, whether you're brown to become light brown to light green to dark green, etc. And to come up with innovative and practical solutions to help you through this transition. It's also being able to train our staff. We've increased our teams, we've grown our teams, but I'm proud to say that in each of our industry groups, we've had a lot of, especially the younger bankers, all put their hand up to say, hey, I want to be the sustainability champion for my team. And for them to then really go deep into their industry, become the expert in their industry on what are the best practices that we see around the world, and also and what's practical for Asia, and to provide and finance these solutions for our clients. And also to tap the markets. I mean, if you look at the ESG compliance stocks versus the non-compliance stocks, and you see the very clear outperformance, I often say, doing good is doing business. I don't think that we're in an environment now where investors are tolerant of non-ESG compliant practices, especially in listed companies. And so being able to get the right capital into the right companies at the right price, I think is certainly our way of playing a very big intermediation role as the world transits into more sustainable business practices.
Okay. Shan, this was very interesting. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.